What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building. And I'll be breaking down Kevin Lee versus Daniel Rodriguez. Great fight right here. Two non-ranked fighters, but if we go look at the rankings, I think Kevin's still ranked in the lightweight division, which is pretty dope. Let me look. I think he's like number 8 or 9, if I'm sure. Yeah, Kevin's number 11, so that's a good thing for him. But yeah, really good thing. Kevin is leaving the lightweight division, so that doesn't even matter. He's going to the welterweight division. He was gonna fight Sean Brady, who I think was ranked at the time at 14 or 15 or something like that. Yeah, 14. D-Rod is not that far behind the rankings. I mean, he's on a pretty good win streak. Out of his last 5, he's won 4, and he lost one controversial one to most people. I think I'm probably the minority to the people that think that wasn't controversial, but we'll talk more about that. But yeah, let's talk about the stats, man. Kevin comes in with a record of 18-6. Is fighting at a Florida, age 28, a height of 5'9", and a reach of 77. My bad, not Florida, Las Vegas. I don't know why I said that. D-Rod, 15-2. Is fighting at Albuquerque, age 34, a height of 6'1", and a reach of 74. So, here's what I see. I see D-Rod's the taller guy and the bigger guy, but again, Kevin Lee with the reach advantage, so he does have the longer arms, so that's going to play a big factor. But if we look at a guy like D-Rod and what he's accomplished, notable wins, I mean, the guy has a good resume. He's done his thing. Well, I wouldn't say a great resume or a good resume, but he has a decent resume for basically a prospect in the welterweight division. He's beaten a lot of named guys, right? If we go look, dude, beating Tim Means on your debut, beating Gabe Green, who's just, coming off a win, Dwight Grant, who's coming off another win. I know that one's a little controversial, but it's still a win, lost to Nicholas Dalby, and, I know a lot of people feel some type of way. I thought Dalby won that fight. I thought he used his range, his jab, and I think people got to rewatch that fight. He almost had a Wonder Boy-esque performance. I know people are going to get mad at me for saying that, but Dalby won that fight. I'm sorry. I've watched it, and I don't see it any other way. You got to rewatch the fight. D-Rock couldn't do anything, I'm sorry. And then, you had that fight with Mike Perry where I knew he was going to tool Mike Perry because Mike Perry isn't the same guy. After beating Vicente Luque, yeah, I know some of y'all might get mad, but he won that fight. Not on the judges' scorecards, but anyone with eyes, he won that fight. But, Mike Perry wasn't the same guy. He's just a punching bag at this point. An everlast punching bag, if I might say. But yeah, I knew that was going to happen to him. It's just a fact. And then his last performance, his knockout victory over I think Patterson. That was a good victory over that guy. I mean, decent grappler, and he was able to stuff all the takedowns and put a jab on him. And for D-Rod, I mean, we look at what he's good at. He's well-rounded, and that's what's going to be really tough for Kevin. He's a big guy. He's not a small guy. He's not a small 170. Kevin, they kind of gave him a layup when he fought Rafael dos Anjos. Rafael dos Anjos, former lightweight, and he had problems with him. So it's gonna be interesting to see what we see out of Kevin Lee. But it is a 3-rounder. Now, if we look at Kevin in terms of notable wins, I mean, Kevin is a standout lightweight. Former top 5 guy, fought for a title. He's legit. His only losses in the division are against Ally Quinta Leonardo Santos, and then Tony Ferguson, Ally Quinta dos Anjos, and Charles Oliveira. I guess the Ally Quinta fight, those losses aren't the best, but losing to dos Anjos, Oliveira, Tony Ferguson, and I guess Leonardo Santos, that's not even bad too. I don't think that's that bad of a loss, but losing to those guys are really legit guys. But if we look at his resume and the guys he's beaten, Jake Matthews, Magomed Mustafayev, Trinaldo, Michael Chiesa, my boy, Edson Barboza, Gregor Gillespie, right, his most recent win. Those are legit guys, man. And he was on a bit of a run. He was on a 5-fight win streak before he fought Tony. So he's legit. And, what's plagued him throughout his whole time, in my humble opinion, his best performance was against Edson Barboza. He took it to the round 5. Looked like his cardio was good. Looked like he wasn't slowing down. He looked good everywhere. And in my humble opinion, one of his better performances. That was something that he really needed. If I'm being quite honest. And it kind of made some people think like, hey man, this guy might be better than Khabib Nurmagomedov. There was a discussion of that, and obviously for Ali Quinta, I actually, I was kind of like iffy on who I was gonna pick, and luckily I love Kevin Lee. Don't get it twisted, but I actually picked against him in this fight. It was just like a lot of smart people around me were telling me, hey, Ali's gonna win that, and I kind of got coerced into picking Al, and he ended up winning that. So it was good on Al. And Al, it was a close fight, though. I really thought for a second they were going to give it to Kevin. I thought, looking how the fight went, because I thought Kevin won the first round, right? And then I thought Kevin won rounds 3 and... Well, I thought Kevin won... 2 and 3. I thought he won those rounds with the takedowns. And then I thought he lost the championship rounds against Al. So that's what I thought happened, but... Hey, it is what it is. Then he had the loss of Dos Anjos, which was embarrassing. That was a bad loss because he didn't look good in any of the areas. He looked less explosive. He looked like he got taken down in that fight. It was very bad. He got tuned up by Dos Anjos, but he came back, proved everybody wrong. A lot of people were doubting him against Gregor Gillespie in a 3-rounder, and he knocked his fucking head off. And I picked him for that, and I was really proud of him, and I was so proud of him. He proved everybody wrong, and then he let me down against Charles Oliveira, where, again, the same kind of Kevin Lee that we kind of saw in that, in that RDA fight kind of popped his head out, where he didn't look as bad as he did in the RDA fight, where he didn't get taken down at least. Like, Charles went for it, but, Charles couldn't get it. So, it is what it is, but it was not a good look for Kevin, to get submitted like that and act like he didn't get submitted. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a lot of lazy takedowns near the end, and it looked like he just gassed out, and I think he says it himself. He didn't follow the game plan. He had a simple game plan out there for him, and he really could have easily won that fight, but it is what it is. But yeah, and that's really what it comes down to, is that they're, Kevin's coming off a loss, and, Daniel is coming off 2 wins. So really, it's interesting that the UFC has booked these two guys. Usually you see, winners fighting winners and losers fighting losers. You don't see winners fighting losers, right? But yeah, that's where we're at right now. It is what it is. But for D-Rod, I think, he is taking this fight on short notice. It's simple. He has good grappling. He's an Eddie Bravo, black belt in jiu-jitsu. He has good boxing. Decent, I would say. Use your jab. Well, I wouldn't even say use your jab. Go forward with your jab. Not necessarily like, when I say use your jab, I mean like kind of go backward and, put on a show, right? But he's going to have to go forward like he did against Mike Perry. Put the 1-2 on him. Put pressure on him. And kind of just put it on him. And, Kevin doesn't do well with pressure, and he kind of breaks, right? So Kevin, put that pressure on him. Make him shoot for a dumb takedown, and then, get him in a bad position. Maybe get on top, ground and pound, or get a submission, Those are things that D-Rod should be looking for, is to make him make mistakes, because Kevin makes mistakes. But when Kevin doesn't make mistakes, he's pretty good at that. But yeah, hold on. Sorry for the interruption, y'all. My bad. But yeah, like I said, when Kevin makes mistakes, it's not good for him, But with D-Rod, I don't know if D-Rod can, force those mistakes out of Kevin right now. I think Kevin, I don't want to make him, I don't want to make any excuses for him. I don't think he took the RDA fight as serious as he did. I think he saw that, Colby Covington and Kumar Usman kind of ran through RDA. So I think he thought, this is easy work. I'll just go up to 170. I'll just kind of test the waters and go up to lightweight. I don't think he was that serious when it came to RDA. Right now, I have a good feeling that he is serious, and I have a feeling that this reminds me of the Gregor Gillespie kind of, fight camp, where he's not talking a lot, he's not on social media, he's just ready to kill somebody. I don't think Kevin's gonna knock out D-Rod, but I do think he's going to put on a show. Kevin has the reach. I've always said this. Kevin could be the Kumar Usman of the lightweight division. I've always said it. His length and his jab is probably he doesn't utilize it at all, right? But I think he's gonna have to start utilizing that weapon, and I think he'll notice it. I think he'll notice it against D-Rod, and when he has that length. And I personally just feel like he will be more explosive than D-Rod. D-Rod's a bigger guy, but I just feel like Kevin is just way more faster and more explosive. So I think he'll have that as an advantage. And I saw what D-Rod can't do well with guys, in and out. And I think if Kevin can somewhat replicate what Dalby was able to do in and out and not stay in the pocket too long with this guy, I think he can get a W. And then mixing the takedowns, I haven't seen anyone really shoot on D-Rod besides, the channel, the Preston Parson guy, right? I didn't really see anyone really shoot at him, and I think Kevin has a real opportunity to really expose his grappling. We're gonna see if how good D-Rod's grappling is. He's a good grappler. Submitted to means no joke about that. But I just honestly feel like if Kevin just puts his nose down and be like, I'm gonna grind this dude out, I think he can do it. He did it against Barboza. Obviously, Barboza's a featherweight now, right? But I think he can do it. I think he can honestly do it in this fight against D-Rod. I just feel like, personally, I think Kevin Lee has the better resume as a fighter. I think Kevin has more tools than D-Rod offensively. Defensively, he kind of lacks. But I just think one thing that D-Rod has over Kevin is mental. And I think that's something we don't know until fight night. We don't know how mentally sharp Kevin's going to be until fight night. Obviously, we can assume and guess, but I'm going to assume that Kevin's there. I think Kevin knows what's up, and he's coming off a loss. He seems super motivated, and I think Kevin's going to put it on D-Rod. I really do. I think we're going to see a classic Kevin Lee performance. I got to go Kevin by decision. D-Rod's super, super tough, and I don't think D-Rod's going to... I don't think he's gonna quit in there. So I'm gonna go. I'm taking Kevin by decision. But it's a good fight though. Can't wait for it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do not forget to follow me on my YouTube, my Instagram, my Twitter. And subscribe to obviously my YouTube channel. Like, comment, and share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. And if you're not getting my notifications, go click the notification button. I know some people have been complaining about that, but yeah, it is what it is. See y'all and love y'all and goodbye.
I ain't even gonna talk no shit. I ain't up here to shit talk, Mike over there. They both shit talking over there. Mike Johnson talking about he gonna kill somebody. He got 30 fights, lost half of them. Ain't killed the motherfucker yet.